y'all. This is Our Take. This is Mark, the moderator.
Thanks.com. The game is the game always.
Able to process on the red eye tonight.
So, Banks, we were talking about football versus basketball. The ideologies are different when it comes to rings. Now, I don't understand. I correlate both as being team sports. I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand the separation when it comes to football versus basketball. Now we get into skills, who can dribble, who can do this. But when it comes to football, it's simply rings and then everything else. Why is there a difference? I don't understand the difference when both are team sports.
Well, because it's real simple to me. First of all, in basketball, you play both sides. You play defense and offense.
Okay.
So I think in football that takes, that's part of it. And however you wanna break it down where it's skewed as the quarterback gets too much credit and stuff like that. Go ahead.
Hold on, excuse me a minute. I just want to, based off of what you just said, a quarterback is on the field less amount of time solely based on the fact that he's not playing defense. A basketball player impacts the game on both sides of a game. His value is more important than a player that just comes in to just play offense, just like a DH. If the only thing you got to do is go up, listen now, hold on, follow what I'm saying. Let's just clear this up. If I just got to go up to the plate and just swing at the ball, I don't never have to go out to the outfield. I don't have to play the infield. I just play a one way for a team. How that has more value than a guy that's going both ways, playing offense and defense in a game. That's all I'm asking.
It's a numbers game. First of all, you have 5 basketball players, so one guy can affect the franchise even more. Whereas a quarterback, I think maybe you don't agree, but I'm in agreement that quarterback is probably the most difficult position to play in sports, and is also the only guy on your team that touches the ball every offensive play, for the most part, like 99.9.5% of the time. So that's what I think the difference.
Hold on, except for the center, but okay, let's go on.
Yeah, I mean the center is 100% of the time. But, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, would you agree that quarterback is the most difficult position to play in sports?
No.
Okay. Well, then there you have it. It. I'll let you go, Avery.
All right, so I mean, we're talking. This is dicey because, in order to be a quarterback in the NFL and be successful, like you really, to me, you have the ultimate effect on your team's destiny, right? So if you're playing 5-on-5 basketball, you have those guys. You have guys that that can affect the game in a different amount of ways. But when you start talking about quarterback, the quarterback is essentially responsible for, essentially coaching the team offensively, right? So I just think that there's so many layers when you start talking about somebody, because we were talking about, I mentioned Bill Russell. Bill Russell, his main objective, where he was more of a defensive stalwart, he was more of a imposing, tower in the middle of the in the court, but he wasn't like the guy that was called on to drop 100 points, 50 points, 30 points a game. Not saying that he couldn't, but he wasn't called for that. As a quarterback in the NFL, you are called on to be successful at any cost. Hence why you have that revolving door of quarterbacks. Let's be very clear. Hence why you got quarterbacks that have a short leash, right? So my thing about Tom Brady at the quarterback position, right? And I have other reasons why I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but we'll get to that another time. To have that longevity of consistency, and on top of that, let me just say, to kind of show the world, hey, I don't need Bill Belichick in order to be successful. Not saying that he didn't need his team, not saying that he didn't need players. Let's not misconstrue that. But to do something to part those two, and now one success went here and one success stayed here, that's telling to me. That's what I'm trying to say.
Avery, I think I just asked a question. On your phone, you got Google Maps?
Here we go. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you line me up. Yeah, I got Google Maps.
Because your GPS is way off. Because you went in a whole different direction. No, we were talking about. Listen. We're talking about why is the impact of someone having rings in one sport that's a team sport and it's not correlated over to the next sport that is also a team sport. That's what we're talking about.
Because it's the glorification of the quarterback position.
Well, now, see
That
that road you
weeks
took,
ago.
the road you
Yeah.
took everybody else down. I don't, yo, you didn't
I
have
was
to do
making a
that.
comparison of Bill Russell
But
and Tom Brady because
yeah,
that's where
but
we start the conversation. So if the quarterback is the most glorified position in the game of sports, we can argue, right? It's the most glorified position. Probably not saying that it's not doesn't have value, but it's probably overstated, right? So we know we just had the conversation and said, yo, the defense is not getting enough credit. Tom Brady could throw for 200, and that's if that's a regular season game, we're gonna say Tom Brady had an average game, right? We're gonna say he had an average game, but it's the Super Bowl and they won. Tom Brady had a great game. He's the MVP. Well, actually, let's, you know what I mean?
hey, you're doing it again. Get your GPS out and stay on course because you're getting lost in this conversation. We're going back to it again. Why is it that one sport count rings
I
and
just said
value
it. I just
rings
said it.
much higher than
I just
another
said it.
sport? So
Because the
maybe I'm
quarterback
missing something.
position is valued
Okay.
and it has a narrative that is carried. In basketball, it's not really a position, it's the person, right? It's not, oh, the shooting guard is the greatest position on the court. No, it goes by who's the guy that puts the most points up, who's the guy that plays the best defense, who's the guy that's the face of the franchise, that carries that franchise. And as we know, playing 5-on-5 is one of those games where, yo, one guy can control the whole thing, right? So the reason why it's not carried as much is because that's just the narrative that's just been created between the sports.
Okay, so when you put out there the narrative, so it's not so much of what is actually
it's not fact. We
right.
know that.
It's not actual. It's more about the narrative that has been accepted globally. This is the acceptance of value which has been placed upon how we see it, how we actually figure it out. Because the reason I say that is this: if we got a guy that got 11 rings, at the end of the day, he was on a team. He has 11 rings. He was a focal part of that team. Now, wherever you put the center position at, wherever you put the guard at, whatever value you put on those spots, at the end of the day, Tom got 7 rings as a quarterback. That makes his greatness much higher. But the question that I have, if that is the narrative that's going to be used, how does it not swing over to basketball, which we seem to always deviate from, and the narrative changes when it goes to basketball? Banks, you shaking your head. Go ahead.
Because I think Super Bowls hold more value than they do than NBA Finals. Just based off the fact that you look at Tom Brady now has more Super Bowl championships than any other team as an individual. Bill Russell does not have more rings than any other franchise in NBA existence. And when you look at Tom Brady's numbers, he is comparable to the GOATs in terms of the amount of touchdowns he's had, the amount of yards that he's thrown for. All these things, I think they count towards him being considered the GOAT. I mean, he wasn't just a I want to say a passenger on the ride for these 7 rings.
And hold on, Bill Russell was a passenger. I'm asking a question, Banks. I'm asking you made the statement. I'm asking the question.
Okay.
Was Bill Russell a passenger on to the way to 11 rings? That's what I'm going to ask you.
No. I'm pretty sure that when we start talking about the GOAT, that you're not going to think Tom Brady is. But, you know, when it comes to see, this is what I'm saying. I think quarterback, to me, I would say is the hardest position to play in sports because you are responsible for just about everybody's. You're not only responsible for, you have to know what your line is doing. You have to know what your receivers are doing. You have to know pass protection. You have to know what the defense is doing. The cover 2, cover 3, all this. You're responsible for a lot on the field. So I think that's why it holds more weight. And then also when you look at it, we've seen in football, generally speaking, for the most part, if you do not have a quarterback that's playing at a high level, no matter what else your team is doing, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to be a successful team.
So let me add to that. And that's very interesting. That's a good point. So my whole thing is, if you look at successful teams in the league, right, that have made it to the playoffs, and or let's just look at won the Super Bowl, you'll find a few you'll find a few teams that have won the Super Bowl with a rock solid defense and an average quarterback. But you're gonna find more teams that have won the Super Bowl based off that quarterback having a pretty successful season, right? To get them to that point. Not to say that there haven't been quarterbacks that haven't played good Super Bowls, because we know that there's been quarterbacks that have had bad Super Bowls. But for the most part, even if we were to look at those quarterbacks that have had bad Super Bowls, their regular season numbers have been normally above average. That's what I'm trying to say. So in confusion of your face, example, the year that Pittsburgh won the Super Bowl and Ben Roethlisberger had a bad Super Bowl game, he had a very good season that year. So what I'm saying is you're not going to make it to the Super Bowl most of the times without very good play from your quarterback. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hold on. Wait. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I got this right.
Yep.
Trent Dilfer.
I said anomalies, of course.
Hold on. Let me finish the point. We've seen the Trent Dilfers, we've seen quarterbacks get to a Super Bowl and the defense carry them. When we look at Eli till today, we still give more. Wait, Banks. I'm just saying we give more credit. We give more credit to the Giants defense than we gave to Eli. Is that a truth or false?
All right, I can answer that.
It's
the truth because of my bias against the Giants.
It's not even a bias, Mo. I'm just telling you, as well as his defense played in both of those Super Bowls, right? Who won MVP in both of Eli Manning's Super Bowls?
Eli did.
But that's a part of the narrative, though, Banks. That's what I'm saying. That narrative.
Listen. I'm going back to it again. But at the end of the day, it took the team to win the actual Super Bowl. Eli did not go out there. He didn't play defense. He didn't play. He didn't throw the ball to himself. He needed help to win the Super Bowl. It's a team sport. It's a team win.
But you're proving my point, though. You use Eli as your first example. Use Trent Dilfer as your first example. If you go back, and we could probably maybe take a sample size of 20 years, right? 20 years. And I'm gonna be honest and being fair to Banks, that run that he had when they beat the Patriots. Look at Eli numbers. I ain't even gonna front.
Listen. Hold on.
He had a good run that year.
But Avery, look what you just did. You eliminated every other teammate on that team.
No, I didn't.
Listen, hold on. Listen what you said. Look at Eli numbers. That's what you focus on. Am I right or wrong?
He's a quarterback. We look how
okay. So wait. So just like last night. I mean, same as Sunday. If Patty Moe got guys dropping balls, his offensive line, they aren't doing their part. If certain pieces aren't in place, the quarterback has a less chance to get the job done. But that's why it goes back to a team sport. Only thing I'm saying to you is, how can somebody sit on 7 rings and be vaulted up here, and a guy that has 11 rings that was a focal point is down here? The thing is, to me, is the narrative here is what messes it up.
I hear that, but let's be clear. Bill Russell wasn't the best player on his team. You understand? Was he the best player on his team at that time? Who was average? I'm asking you, Mark. I'm asking you. I don't know.
I'm telling you right now. Bill Russell was the best player on his team.
I think he was the most complete player.
No. He was
okay. But wait.
He was Bob Cousy. You can look at Cousy, Casey Jones, all of the other players, JoJo White, all the other players around him.
We answered that question. We answered that question. Now let's move to the next question, because I'm gonna say, was Tom Brady the best player on his team? Perhaps not. However, was Tom Brady in comparison to his peers? Where was he at? Was Bill Russell in comparison to his peers? Because that's what we rank people at, right?
There was only 2 other players next to him.
Huh?
There was only 2 other players.
Okay, but look at what Tom Brady played 20 years.
I'm not saying no to that.
Look at his counterpart.
But wait. I'm answering the question you asked. I said Bill Russell only had 2 other players.
Okay.
There was Chamberlain, Kareem. So outside of that, there was nobody else.
So to answer your question, to bring that back, that's one of the reasons why.
No, it's not.
It is because we always go back to generations. And Banks tries to make this point a lot.
Listen,
we always go back to generation. Though, who's playing against you during that time?
Let me say it to you right now.
Go ahead.
For 15 years, up until now, if you go back 15 years ago, it was Joe Montana, even 5 years ago, it was Joe Montana.
Right.
Am I right or wrong?
Okay.
There's many people watching this video right
now
never
Joe Montana
seen Joe
what?
Montana.
As the GOAT?
As the GOAT. As the GOAT. Many people watching this video right now never seen Joe Montana play. But universally, he was given the title as the GOAT. Am I right or wrong?
I'm not going to totally co-sign that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. He was given the title of the GOAT.
Some people still believe Joe Montana is the GOAT. He was undefeated in the Super Bowl. And the run on, I think he was 16-1 in Super Bowls.
Listen.
16 touchdowns, 1 interception.
4 rings. Right. 4 rings.
Mm-hmm.
He got 4 rings, never lost a Super Bowl. He was vaunted as the GOAT of quarterbacks. He's the GOAT. Now, you fast forward now, and now Tom Brady, what Tom Brady did was to get to number 6. Now he got 7. They look at the number of rings and they use that to put him here now as the GOAT, when previously, even when he had 4 rings, even when he had 5 rings, he was not recognized as the GOAT. That's all I'm saying. But when you look at a dude that got 11 rings,
I agree with that.
When you got a dude that got 11 rings and you look at the dude with 6 rings and that's the GOAT. So I'm just saying, I'm just showing you the ring thing.
The parallels here, though. We're talking about the narrative itself, and then we're talking about, okay, what is actually the GOAT? And what is your measurement of GOAT? Because right now we're talking about what the narrative is. What we're talking about, what the media has kind of perpetuated over the last day or so now. Okay, Tom Brady's GOAT because he's got 7 rings. Well, me personally, I'm not looking at Tom Brady as the GOAT because I'm looking at ability before I look at what you got as far as rings. I'm not looking at, I'm saying the feat in itself, though, is incredible. And I don't think the feat in itself is incredible. But that does not make him performance-wise the GOAT. That's why I said, one of the things I heard earlier today, and I think y'all heard it too, was this the greatest playoff run ever by a quarterback? And I'm like, what? Like, no. It's just that the guy's 43, so they're making it. He got 7 rings. He's 43. This is great. No, it's not the greatest run. By far, it's not the greatest run.
So with that,
right? Eli got the greatest run of all time.
All right, this is our take, y'all.
All right, y'all. Yeah, this is our take, yo. Everybody, peace out.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
Yo, man, I can't.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
This is our take. 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 This is our